Alright, I'm going to start filming, and basically I am going with the Daisy. I think that was recommended by many of you, meaning yellow, but Lindsay specifically said Daisy or Colonel Mustard. And so there you have it. I'm also going to be using Limeade. So I just want you to know that I let this Daisy set up for a long time. So I had just taken a plastic spoon, spraying some water in there, I'm stirring it up. I did this for another project and I wanted it to be a little bit thicker, so you don't normally have to do this part. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the Daisy. How I'm going to work the Limeade in, I'm not quite sure yet. That's the beauty of doing these things, right? So here we go. I've already washed, cleaned, took the handles off this particular one. I am going to spray my brush with a mister, and we have these misters available for you online. These are like vintage.com or eBay or Etsy or in our store in Tallahassee, Florida. I guess it would be nice if you could see my head, but you know, it's not important. The important part is to see, yes, I saw my Christmas tree up. That's not the important part. The important part is to see the item. So I'm going to dip into Daisy with my brush, and as you know, right now, I'm getting notifications from work. We're getting a positive feedback from our square saying, we're so glad Kayla's back. So we have two Kaylas. We actually have three Kaylas. One's a consignor, two are workers, and Kayla King had to leave us to go on work on her own projects. She has a movie she wrote and directed and filmed. It was filmed in the other side. And she is back with us now, helping out as she took a hiatus for a couple months. So people are excited to see her back on our social media. And that just popped up on the screen while I am painting, so hence why I brought it up. Again, I'm just putting the base coat on, the first coat. This is Daisy. I am going to step in the way. This has veneer issues. It has scuffs and dings. It unfortunately would take more effort to, quote, save it than to make it happy and paint it. Let me see if I can move this a little closer. There. And now I'll paint in the back, which makes more sense, so we'll be standing in front of you. Alright. So I'm just going to do this. You can fast forward through. If you start to feel the paint drag or your brush, just take your mister and mist your brush first. I like to do that. You can mist the piece too, but this piece doesn't need to be misted. How do I know that? It's because it's that veneer. If it was real wood, I would mist the wood too, so the wood could soak in some of the water. In this case, it just needed to be my paintbrush. Alright. So we're 3 minutes in, and we must have the top done, at least the first coat. I'm going to guess, I'm going to put 2 to 3 coats on this. Here's where that veneer is messed up on the back, so we're going to really work that paint in. Spray my brush a little more. Now that mist is going across here to the other paint that I already put on. See, I didn't even have to dip back in the paint. I'm sorry that the oven fan is on. You might can hear that in the background. He's been cooking all day, and the house smells wonderful. Even though the holidays are over, it smells like the holidays. Okay, so there's that. Now I'm going to work on the front. Let's see if I can push this. I'm going to use my butte. There. Use what you got. I'm going to sit down here, and I don't have my little, I should have my little wheel thing. I have that thing I sit on with wheels. You know what? You know, you should start these things before you start filming, but a turtle wheel. There we go. It's a turtle pillow on a little furniture dolly. There, now I can roll around. So again, I am dipping back into the Daisy, and I'm just going to go over this. There are going to be spots that are not painted. You'll see. I'll come back to them. Don't worry. Getting that first coat on. Let me use this mister. Don't keep your mister very close. Now this time I am going to mist the piece of furniture in the front. There's less veneer. I am going to mist this again. You see, I'm going to use this mister the whole time. The misters are worth it. Again, they're a fine mist, not just like a mister you would use for spraying chemicals or to clean the bathroom and stuff. You can use that mister once it's cleaned out, emptied and cleaned out, but it will leave droplets that can be seen. And trust me, I used that for years because that's all I could do. Use what you have. And then finally I was able to realize that this mister was only like $12.50 or $13 and was worth it. And at first I still couldn't afford it, and I got it as a Christmas present because that's what I asked for Christmas, was a mister bottle. And honestly, that's what I wanted, and that's what I got, and I was so happy. So it's funny to sit here and talk about those mister bottles that we all use from the dollar store section and realize those work too. But it's nice to have a fancier tool that doesn't leave little splotches. But again, what I'm trying to say, going all the way around the point is use what you have and don't put that off starting. Go ahead and get started no matter what. Alright, I hear a little person, and by that I mean Mikey the cat's behind me. I don't have children, so. And outside is Petey trying to come inside because you know what happens when I start painting? They want to be all around it, just like kids. They want to be around it, and they'll jump up on top. Mikey! You see Petey out there? He wants to come in too. So let me just finish getting this base coat on, and then I'll let Petey come in. Because by that time, the top will already be dry, and we won't have the little pitter-patter of tiny feline feet on top, which, if you've been watching my videos, you'll see in the last year I did that. He jumped up on top while I was filming, and I went all the way across the bear, and I had little feet. Actually, you know what? Come on in, Petey. Petey, come on. Come on. You coming in? Come on, Petey, we're filming. Make your cameo or don't. You coming? All right. Coming or no? Yes. Okay. That's the cat's prerogative. Be finicky. Just gonna sit outside there and watch, okay? I tried, you guys. Okay, there's Mikey. He's an orange kitty, and if he's not too careful, he might get a little bit of yellow on him. But this is low VOC. Does not smell, so you can paint inside, and is not harmful to my fur babies. So even if they get it on them, I just rinse it out with a little bit of water and they're fine. Same with my clothes. You can actually use Dixie Belle to paint on clothes to make designs, but you just have to heat set it. So, that's why you see a lot of the ambassadors painting in the regular clothes, and people always say, how do you paint your clothes? It's because it comes out really easily. And because we just want to paint and we can't stop and change clothes each time. We're just ready to go. Okay, we're at the 8-minute mark. And I'm running my mouth more than I'm painting. So I'm going to add a little bit more water to the brush. And we're almost done. I will do the sides. And then I will bring in the limeade once this is dry. Because we went with yellow. For all those who voted yellow. Liv, Jamie, Lindsay. Gosh, there was other people who voted yellow too that all said, yeah, I was going to say yellow. So, yellow has won. And Daisy's a happy color. Hence, yellow. Daisy. Alright, so we're at 9 minutes, 30 seconds. We've got this top, we've got the front, and now I'm going to see, go ahead and turn this because I do have it on wheels. Can you see it? I hear you, Mikey. Mikey's saying, come feed me. There we go. Now you can see the side. So since we're still here and my phone is still I keep looking up to make sure we're still filming because my phone will cut out sometimes when people send messages. And Brooklyn sent me a message from the store asking about something. And Jeannie sent me a message about something. I don't have the high-tech new cameras to film. I use my phone, a Samsung S9, I believe I have, in case those who are asking. Okay. Again, keep the brush misted, it helps. And you can pour your Daisy out into a cup and not double and triple dip, but I like to just dip right into my jars. They're made really well. You put the cap back on, and like this one I hadn't used in a very long time, and all I did was add some water to reactivate it a little bit because I got it goopy. And now we're fine again. No cleanup, I just go straight, clean out the brush. You don't have to clean out the jar every time. Are you around, Jason?
I'm right here.
Oh, he's in the kitchen. I heard it beep. We always say that. Heard it beep.
Yeah.
I think he's finishing up the dinner that he's been cooking all day. Is it almost done? Because it smells good.
Yeah, it's done.
It's done.
I just turned it off.
You turned it off. So the beep was saying, done. There's some of that veneer issue here, so I'm going to really get that paint in there because that's raw wood soaking that up. Okay, we are at 12 minutes on the dot. Now, I hope that I get my fingers all wet. You know what, I got it here, I'm going to do this edge. Just turning my brush sideways because we're just putting that first base coat on. Easy peasy. Now, I'm sitting, trying to move this heavy, heavy, bulky piece of furniture. Okay, as you can see, these wheels are very helpful. Hopefully it doesn't tip over. Oh, I'm getting the Christmas tree. Oh well. There'll be little marks from the Christmas tree. Yes, it's time to take down the Christmas tree. I should be doing that instead of painting. But I wanted to go ahead and get my project started. You can't have a piece of furniture hanging around for too long without getting the paint on it. It drives me crazy. It'll keep me up at night. I'll be thinking about it. I was thinking about it last night because we asked you guys what color to paint. And all night long, you guys were on our Instagram and our YouTube and our Facebook and bling, bling, bling. This is what color I think. So if you've got a piece of furniture sitting around the house that you've had for a while and you're bored with it, you can just spend a little bit of money on paint and jazz it up and make it look completely different. Or you can go thrifting and find a new to you piece of furniture that's not in the greatest shape and jazz it up, which becomes a custom, one-of-a-kind heirloom, right? Created by local artists. Insert your own name because you're the artist. Alright, I'm just getting this side. Going right over those metal details. Kind of decide if I'm going to bring those back or just let them go. Can y'all see down here? If the Christmas tree wasn't there, I could get there, but I'm almost done. I was hoping to get this whole done in one shot so that you can see the base coat. Again, you can fast forward through this to get through because this is just sitting and painting and yammering. Okay, in this corner, it's got a little beveled edge, so I'm trying to go back up, make sure I get the paint all in that bevel. So just turn your brush a little bit different. And this is the Dixie Belle mini brush. This is the same one I've been using. Actually, I think I have two, but I use those same two for over hundreds and hundreds of projects right now. and still working, still love them. I might break down and buy a new one, but so far, if I do, it's going to be the mini. I use the mini on more projects than any other brush. So if you're looking at just getting one brush to start, I suggest the mini. We sell those online. All right, there you go. It is 15 minutes, 20 seconds. There you go. All right, I'm gonna let this dry for 20 minutes or so, depending on dinner situation. And meaning I might eat before I come back. And then I will start on the next 2 coats, and we'll incorporate that limeade in there. So the yellow is one. There you go. I'm going to spin this around as I'm getting up. The top should almost be already dry. And there you have it. Again, this is just the first coat. I know it looks like it looks. Just remember, it's gonna get worse before it gets better. So this is the beginning. Thank you for following us. Ooh, my hair is in the way. Right, it's been drying for about an hour or so, and now I'm going to be adding the limeade a little bit at the bottom. This particular bottle, I have added water to it, and it made it a little bit more watery, if you want to say. So I'm going to dip in there, and it's going to drip a little bit. You don't always want dripping, but in this case, I want to do it, so I added on purpose. Oh, I'm going to block for you. Anyways, here we go. So I'm just going to add this thin coat of watered down limeade. And I'm going across the case. It's dripping just a little bit, so I'm going to pull it up a little. Can you see that? Can you see that? Oh, yeah, it's showing up. Okay. I was afraid it wasn't going to show up. It is almost dark outside. There's a storm coming by tonight, and the weather's getting a little bit more precarious, so I'm just trying to get this coat on and probably let this dry overnight. I was hoping to get the next couple steps done today, but other things took precedent. Okay, see that? So I'm just kind of adding it in, and then what I'm going to do is use it lightly up here. So you can see, I'm going to dip back in. I add probably a little too much water for what I wanted, but all you got to do is just keep going back over it. It's chalk paint, chalk mineral paint, so it'll dry really nice and level out on its own, self-leveling. It's very forgiving. Okay. So I'm going to stop right there, and I'm going to switch gears. Put the top back on this. Yes, I'm blocking it in. And I am going to grab the Vintage Cupcake by Country Chic Paint, because we sell this as well. And I'm going to open it up using the same brush, dipping in. I'm going to just bring this across. Wow! I'm looking on the camera because it looks completely different on camera to me what it looks like in person. So I'm just going to add this in a bit. Again, you can find all the products we are using on our theothersidevintage.com, our eBay, or us on Etsy. Just look for The Other Side Vintage. Is that a little bit of pink? All right, I'm going to bring that pink up a little bit. I'm liking that. Now, if you do something like this and you let it dry for a while and you decide you don't like it, guess what? You can just paint back over it. These are intermixable because they're both chalk paints. Now, the Country Chic has clay based in it as well, not just the chalk. So it's more clay based, so they do play well together, but it's a little bit thicker in the color. See it? So, based on what I talked about earlier, I think I'm leaning towards adding the botanical transfer. So we're kind of going Palm Beachy, tropical Some of you also mentioned to do ombre. You're just like, do it ombre. Some people said rainbow. So in that essence, we've got the different colors. We are kind of doing a little bit of an ombre, but I don't know if I like that word ombre because it's not, I think that's more like in hair and stuff. Ombre hair. And I'm going to bring this across. I'm lightening it up. I'm just using what's left on the brush, and because it's a mixture of Limeade and Vintage Cupcake by Country Chic, you can see that the colors kind of go with each other because they are blended. So I'm going to go sideways. This drawer, I'm going to go like this. And when I did that, a little bit of the paint pulled back off, so I know not to go so hard on that. And there. Alright, I may stop here. See how I like this? I may go a little bit. You know what? No, I'm going to go a little higher. I'm going to go up just a little bit more. When I say I'm going to go up a little more, what I did was I went a little bit higher and then I started coming back down. So it's getting, again, still blending by making this light up here, a little bit more color down here, and then blending it up. So I still have both colors on the same brush. Okay, and right here I can see there's a little bit of drip with the Limeade, and because I'm just going to feather it across, and that'll take the drip off. And now, because my paintbrush has a little bit more Limeade on it, I'm going to bring that up. There you go. Kind of use it to your advantage. You're just blending lightly, just feather strokes, very lightly. All right, I'm starting to dig this. I am probably going to, it's at 6 minutes now, I'm going to go ahead and hit the daisy while I still have the pink open. Let's pull back out the daisy. And I'm going to bring the daisy back up here a little bit that we used earlier. Again, I'm using the same brush, dipping it back in. Yes, I'm contaminating my jars a little bit, but I'm okay with that. If you've seen me paint before, I don't freak out about stuff like that. Okay, and you see how that, there you go. Because it's partly feathered in and partly not, it's giving it kind of a striation look, which I like. I'm going to feather it up, feather this up. I'm going to dunk in there a little bit again and put some of that bright daisy right there. And see how it got here? I don't really want it that strong, so I'm going to take this, I'm going to spray my brush, and that allows me to, almost like a eraser, blend it back in and feather it out. Using light strokes. Bring it back down into the pink here. And I'm going to go up here, and because I want the daisy to really pop up there, I'm going to dip back in. Bring a lot of the daisy now. See how much I've got on there? Make it brighter. And I am going to add a little bit of water. Kind of reactivate it. Again, this is Daisy by Dixie Belle. That spot keeps pulling back, so I'm going to leave it alone. I thought I could get away with it drying like 10 minutes. I'm going to leave it alone and go back to it. But I am going to use the sides here and get the daisy up there. Alright, you see where we're going with that? And I'm going to reactivate a little bit of the daisy that's still left in the brush. Instead of just washing the brush out and wasting all that paint, it's still on there. Doing touch-ups. Alright, keep going. You may not can see this because I can see the cameras up. I'm just hitting some of the sides that we did in Daisy the first time around. Feathering it up, hitting the sides, and I'm offloading my brush by touching up the sides and using all the paint. And I just noticed down here, this bottom little rung is not done. Ooh, I don't even think you can see it. It's right underneath. So while we're here, you can see this. I'm just going to catch that. There. Easy. Easy application. Now do you see it? So you've got Daisy, you've got Limeade, and you've got Vintage Cupcake, Dixie Belle, and Country Chic Paint. They play nice together. And I'm going to let this dry. So I was working on this while it was still drying. I haven't done the top again. It has the Daisy on it, but because I love the Vintage Cupcake so much, and before I wash out my brush, it still has a little bit of Daisy and Vintage Cupcake, I'm going to just add a little bit more Vintage Cupcake to the top and kind of blend it in because it has both colors on the brush. I do find that Country Chic Paint is a little bit more liquidy, more thin than Dixie Belle, but you can change that up. I mean, that's a good thing actually in some cases, but you can change it up by letting the top stay open for a few minutes, about 15 minutes, and it makes it thicker. Or you can, what was I going to say? Oh, add more water to make it even more liquidy and thin. It's easier to manipulate in some instances, so that's why we sell both, because I like both products for different reasons. And as you see, I use both products sometimes in the same application. So I know it's hard for you to see right now. I am going to keep on keeping on with this video, and then I will add pictures later of the top. I just sprayed it with the mister. I'm going to push it forward a little bit and hope it doesn't pop out. There we go. And then I'm just kind of blending in the Vintage Cupcake right to the top with the Daisy kind of blended in because it's the same brush. If you don't understand, send me messages, comment below, and or I would suggest trying it yourself. Just start using 2 paints where you leave one paint still on the brush and then dip into the other paint color, and add some water with your mister or on your brush misting it. I'm going to add a little bit more, and then you'll see you get this unique custom blending. It's actually quite a lot of fun. And then if you hate it, you just paint over it, whatever color you preferred. It's forgiving. Okie dokie. So, Vintage Cupcake it was, and Daisy is down here, and we're gonna let it dry for about an hour because I have other things to do. It'll be dry in about 20 minutes, but I'm gonna let it dry about an hour. And we shall keep on with this. It's starting to look a little more like tropical and fun, springish. Good morning. So it's the day after. I went ahead and ate good food and did other things. So I let this dry overnight. And overnight I could not sleep thinking about this. I wanted to change up the colors completely, but then I realized I was thinking of something for another project. So I'm not going to, I was originally going to get up and come downstairs and repaint this whole thing something completely different. But again, after reflection this morning with a little bit of coffee, I was like, nope. Continue with this. The other thing that you came up with goes to something else. So I'm glad that I have another project in mind before I even have it. So I am going to use the Country Chic Vintage Cupcake. I'm decided I'm going to bring in a little bit more pink after I decided what I was going to change my mind to again. So I'm just going to layer this on as such and bring it up a little bit. Now remember yesterday I said this was pulling up. It was because it was still wet and I was putting too much pressure. I just needed to let it dry a bit. So now it's fine. And you'll find that if you ever start painting and the paint's peeling up from that layer below, just stop. It's not completely dry yet. due to humidity, due to time, due to many factors. And so just know your project, know your product, and stop and save yourself the trouble of having to repaint. Just let it dry a few more minutes is what I'm trying to say basically. Alright, I'm highlighting with this light pink on the edge of this beveled spot. You can't see it because it's facing the other side, but you'll see here. And do that, and then hitting the edges for a little bit of a highlight. Just turning the brush sideways. Just remember, light colors are highlights. Dark colors tend to make things go away or disappear a little bit. Just like when girls are putting on makeup, I shouldn't say girls, just like when any human being is putting on makeup, you highlight the eyebrow bone, but right here, my hooded lid, you put a little bit darker so that it makes that disappear, and then you highlight the cheekbones with the lighter. See? Same concept. Alright, now I'm just offloading the brush, bringing it up. Yeah, you can see that a little bit on there. It's hard to see with the camera sometimes. So I always say look at the pictures after. Alright, this is more what I was looking for, at least in my dreams when I was thinking about it overnight. This is blending in. It's almost coming a little bit orangey here between the yellow and the pink, which I'm going to like. Actually, I'm going to just add a little bit more. So I may change my mind between now and then, but I thought about adding the transfer and, oh gosh, I said the transfer wrong yesterday, and I said I knew it was wrong, and now I can't remember the name of the transfer again. Tropical Paradise. I think that's what it is. It has ferns and stuff on it, so I think it's called Tropical Paradise. I think Brooklyn has one too. My sister Brooklyn, who manages the store, she really liked that when it came out. It's a new redesign with Prima transfer. And she wanted that too, so we all kind of love it. Alright. I am leaving the sides right now, they're yellow. The top is more pink color, like this pink. And as you can see, as this dries, this is Limeade, sorry, this is Limeade, this is Daisy, and this is Country Chic Vintage Cupcake. The other ones are by Dixie Belle. So I'm going to let this dry. I might even put a fan on to encourage it to dry quicker because there's a lot of humidity in the air today because we have a big storm coming. We're in Tallahassee, Florida, for those who are asking. We're in Florida, so humid air takes a little bit more time to dry. Actually cold air too, so just turn on the fan and let it dry. Alright, so there you have it. I'm going to let that dry about 20 minutes, maybe an hour if I'm working on other projects. Like I'm listing on Etsy right now, on eBay. If you want any of these products to do your own DIY, we sell even the brushes on our website, theothersidevintage.com, or eBay or Etsy. Just theothersidevintage.com. Look it up, you'll find us. And we'll ship out to you, and we even do a shout out when we ship things to you. We say, hey, and we do that on the next video. So we really appreciate when you shop with us local, even though you're not locally in Tallahassee. You're supporting a locally owned, family owned, and operated business. Alright, I'm going to try to stand up now to turn this off. And I'm still not quite completely awake, so bear with me as I go to try to get up. See? Oh, it wasn't that bad. Okay, talk to you later. Alright, here it is. Tropical Paradise from ReDesign with Prima transfer. Available on our website, on eBay and Etsy, The Other Side Vintage. Oh, my hair looks just lovely, doesn't it? Anyways, ignore the hair. Wow, it looks really bad. Let me just yeah, we were out for a walk before while this was drying, and yeah, fast forward through this. Okay, let's do it like this. Alright. So I'm opening up this transfer. It's one of the newer ones. And it comes in several sheets. I'm going to pull out, and it comes with the stick to adhere it to it. Let's sit this down over here. I'm just going to unroll a random piece. Here is that random piece. And you can cut these out. I even have a pair of scissors. So you can cut out individual ones and use it wherever you would like. I'm debating whether to go ahead and just apply it straight on there like this, or actually I like that better. I kind of do want just random. Like, I don't think I'm going to put that on there. I think I'm going to cut. I'm going to do that. Anyways, I decide I'm going to go straight across or cut it. I like this piece, and I like this piece, and I like this piece. Maybe I will just cut it. So as you see, I'm going to just take my scissors, cut the extra section off, and save your scraps because you can use them for many other projects. And, okay, so I like that, I like that, I like that. I don't want this piece, so I'm going to cut this out. Real close, actually, let me get a little closer. There. Take this piece off. Just make sure you don't rip the white paper that's backing this off, because that's where the sticky stuff is. Okay, there's that. I know I lost a little bit of a stem. And I think I'm going to cut this right here. And down. There. All right, there we have it. You know what I didn't get? I didn't get painter's tape to hold this on. So get your painter's tape, preferably, or you can cut each one of these out and do them small like. Can't decide. Really can't. It happens. Maybe I will just start with this guy here. All right, so I'm gonna stop this here, and then I'm gonna get the painter's tape. I thought it was sitting down here. It's not. Be prepared when you're doing these things. So as I was saying, make sure you know where things are before you start filming. And here's the painter's tape. By the way, I went and looked in my work cabinet. I walked outside to my storage unit. I walked upstairs where I had some crafting items. It was right behind me, down in a basket. I just, didn't look in the obvious place that I put it so I'd know where it was. Yeah, hidden right in plain sight. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the backing off this transfer. And once I do, there's kind of like a no going back point where you have to go ahead and apply this to the project. So this is separating the white paper from the actual transfer. So we're releasing the transfer. And then this is sticky, and the transfer is actually on there. So anything it touches, you want to be make sure you get it where you want it. Because it is like, sort of like tape. Wherever you put it, it was where it's going to go. So there you go. All right. Now, I was going to put painter's tape on it, hence why I stopped. But I'm going to go ahead, and since this one is here, I'm going to go ahead and just spray it. And by doing that, I'm releasing the transfer that is connected to this clear coat. You got to put a little pressure on it to get that to release. And you'll see, usually I like to work in sections, like start down here. And you'll feel it start to release because the paper will give. And I find that some designs seem to be easier to work with as far as releasing than others, but also depends again on the project you're working on. Okay. I know from experience I need a little bit more elbow grease there. I'm gonna just pull a little bit of this clear. It's gonna be hard because my fingernails are cut to the quick from all the work I've been doing. Come on, usually you can just get it with the edge of my, here we go. Here's what I'm gonna do. Keep rubbing a little bit. I know I'm blocking exactly what I'm working on, aren't I? That's great. We're like, can you move your body out of the way so we can see what you're doing? I can tell it's releasing. Now let's see if I can get my finger under this edge. And of course I'm just pulling the paint off because my fingernails, there we go. So, if you can tell, I'm releasing, and as I pull, if part of this is still on this part, you just stick it back down and press harder. There, so I know it's releasing up to here. This frond down here is still stuck because when I pulled it, it was still attached to the back of that paper. This is like a sticky transfer paper. And so I'm just going to push a little harder, come back over here, and pull, and it's still on there. So you keep working with it until you feel it release. I just saw it release. And you go in different directions. You get a workout from this. I remember Letha was helping me on another project. I'm going to skip this over so you might can see it better. And she and I both were, like, that was our workout for days. Arm strength, because you're pushing. We did a whole piece in one day. A very elaborate piece. Errors I made so it took longer. We were both like, woo, that gave us a workout. Okay, so it's releasing. These have released now. And this one is still a little bit. So I'm going to keep doing this, and then I will add more pieces from this particular transfer. And keep working on it in sections. You can step away for a while if you get a phone call or if you need to check on the kids or get some food or whatever. And then I'm going to take each part, I just rolled over, and cut out different pieces. Some people will just put one piece here and one piece up here, and like I have some that have butterflies on it and you just add a couple butterflies, but this one I'm going to use different parts of this. And so transfers, I can get sometimes 4 to 5 projects out of one transfer. So just keep that in mind when you're purchasing these. Now you could put the whole transfer on one project, and that's still very cost effective because as much as it jazzes up your project, it's worth it. Okay, this one down here is just being stubborn because it's right on the edge. I'm going to press a little harder. And you'll see once you get started on the edges, it'll, like this one, because it took me a second, now it's starting to pull. There we go. Okay, this guy just wants to stay. He wants to stay. Release. Be with your friends. All right, you guys can fast forward through this or any other section and get to the parts where you can learn how to do this. And just remind that this particular transfer in between here is actually going to show the color of what I painted. Some transfers are complete, and meaning the background is also on it. Like, see how this would have been white? So some transfers, the background is also included, so it's like white, so you don't have to worry about painting underneath it. But then some transfers like these are filigree, and I like that because then your paint shows through and really makes it a neat creation. Okay, like I said, it took a minute, but once it starts going, see it's starting to release really well now. You'll go faster. It's just getting started. Oop, is the hardest part. There we go. And sometimes, even though it's releasing, I like to just put the paper back down and burnish it so that really getting those air bubbles out of there and makes it easier to put the clear coat over this. And yes, we will be clear coating over this to protect it. I'm just going to use a clear coat, probably by Dixie Belle, either glossy satin or flat, depending on my decision of what I would like. There we go. It's releasing, and see, it is now adhered onto my project. I am gonna braid that down a little bit. Okay. Like I said, once it starts going, it goes much quicker than when I first started. Okay, press that down, and we're going to get up here. And this part is going to go onto the next drawer. So I'm going to just go up to here and let that release. I'm kind of using my brayer stick to separate the one that's going to be on the bottom drawer. See that? Now this one is still here, so what I'm going to do now is add it, that little piece, to the next drawer. And by putting pressure on it, it cut right at the drawer. I'm going to wrap it by using my brayer stick right around the edge of the drawer bottom. Let's see if we can get that off there. There it goes. Now I'm going to push my finger and tuck it. See? So this is actually on the second drawer, this piece right here. But when it's closed, it looks like it's on there. So it's nice to wrap them sometimes. It makes it more intense. And I'm just using my finger to get that extra little bit to go under the drawer. And then I'll use my brayer stick to cut it a little. And it literally just comes off. So now we're on two separate drawers, and we have our first part of our transfer. We're going to continue to do that all along the case. And you just throw this piece away and the white piece that it came on. So basically the transfer, when it arrived, of course I cut it, was sandwiched between these two, the actual transfer. So you pulled off the back piecing, and then it was still stuck to this. You stuck that piece onto the actual drawer, braided off the pressure, and then you pull this and it releases. Hence you are transferring this furniture transfer to your piece. All right, you guys, don't forget the stick does come with it, with the transfers. Thanks for watching. I'm going to keep on keeping on. All right, I'm on to the next piece. So I cut this piece out the way I wanted it, and I am going to use this whole sheet. So this is going to take a little bit longer. I just want to show you that I'm going to separate the white backing again from the clear that has the transfer. So we're, see how the transfer is still on this piece though? And pull that backing off. Once you do that, you got to use it because it's sticky. It's like a sticking. Okay. And gosh, I hope I remember where I decided. So don't adhere it to your piece till you know where you're at. I want this to be overlapping just a bit. Okay. And once you do this, it sticks. There we go. So I'm gingerly doing that, and we are going to overlap other ones. And so I am, because this is a larger piece, going to use just simple painter's tape because it's quick release and it won't pull the paint off. I'm going to put one here to this drawer. See, it bows up a little bit. I'm going to put a little piece here. Keep this there. And in the middle to help support while I'm rubbing on it. Here. Here. And you don't have to usually put this much on there, but I went ahead and did a big piece instead of like cutting this off here and doing two, which may be easier when you're first starting out. Do smaller pieces before you do a big piece of transfer. And these don't have to be because they're on the bottom, but I'm just going to do them for location purposes. I want that to stay a bit. Okay, so then again, your handy dandy transfer tool that comes with it, and I'm going to overlap. See how this one, I don't know if you can tell, is going to actually overlap the original transfer I put on just a minute ago. So I'm going to start with that because we're putting a transfer on top of a transfer. And the clear paper keeps from the other transfer from being scraped off with this scraper because we're going on top of it. So it's important to keep that in mind when you're doing one on top of the other. You really want to press down and get that to stick to it. Some people like to work from right to left, and some people left to right, depending. It makes it easier to smooth it out and keep going instead of like jumping from here to here to here. It's whatever you decide you want to do and you feel more comfortable with. When you start using them, you'll get a better feel for it. Again, this is a filigree transfer, meaning the leaves, the space between the leaves is actually filigree, so you'll see what color I painted, which down here is the Limeade mixed with a little bit of Daisy and a little bit of Vintage Cupcake, which is from Country Chic Paint. Country Chic Paint. I always say chic. Thinking shabby chic. Shabby chic. So same thing, Country Chic. I'm going to come over this way. You see, I decided to work on this one piece. It's over here. It did go over the hole for the knob. This one didn't. This one did, and that's okay. Because when I put the knob on, the knob will be on top of that. Go ahead, and since this is between drawers, I'm going to rub off what would be on the top of this drawer. Really work to go ahead and get this one piece down. Start on that. Let me see if it's going to lift. I'm going to lift from the left, and I am going to pull this piece of tape off. There, so I can reuse that tape. If the tape will stop taping to my finger. Okay, so I'm going to pull this and see if it's released. And you just want to slowly pull, and I can see it's not released yet, so I'm going to keep rubbing. Again, getting it started is usually the hardest part. Once you get it started, it starts to come off easier. Don't worry if you break the stick. I've done that. There's two sides. By putting pressure on it, sometimes the stick will break. Okay, it's still not releasing yet. So I'm going to keep working on this again. Getting it started is the hardest part. Woo! Yep. Be careful not to go underneath your paper, which is what I just did. The paper went up and it's because we took off that painter's tape beforehand, right? Should have left it alone. I'm getting my arm worked out on this side. Okay, again, I'm going to see if it's releasing, and it is starting to release. So right now I am pulling while I am putting pressure down to help it release. Now this one down here, this corner, there it goes. So I'd say it's not releasing, but it is. Is my head right in the way? Probably. Again, this can be the boring part, so fast forward through. This just gives you an idea of when you're working on your own project, what you'll be doing. Okay, I'm going to keep working my way, see how it's starting to release. I'm going to keep working on this while you guys do whatever you're doing on this wonderful Saturday, January 11th. Happy birthday to my dad. Happy birthday, Doug Walker. He is 50. No, I'm just kidding. I just turned 50, so he's a little older. He's actually 69 today because he was 19 when he had me. So was my mom. So they were 19 youngins. All right, happy birthday. Let me go ahead and start working on this. Okay, I've been working on this for a few minutes, and I just want to show you that we started with this, and I've been braying and pressing and pulling, and there you go. See how some of it is on this drawer and some of it is on this drawer? That's just a little bit technical. You just got to rub and really get definition between the two drawers, and then you want to come back with your finger and go across that line and press down. So you got a really good firm and tight seal there. And also here at the top on the next drawer, I'm going to go across. The warmth of my finger actually helps because it is a transfer, and then I'm going to go right under the edge of my finger here. Get that on there. And as we get through, I will work on that with a burnishing cloth, which is just basically a t-shirt or a lint-free cloth that I'll go across this and rub around in circles and really get that to make sure it's adhered before I seal it with a clear sealer. So I want to show you, I'm working on this part, and when I hold it, part of it is still in the backing and not on the actual dresser. So I'm just going to push, add some pressure, especially because this is on two different drawers. Am I blocking again? Always blocking. And then I'm going to push down here at the top of this drawer and make a definite line. And that makes me allowed to go here to this part that's on this top drawer and press it in, because that's where it'll lay. And then come back with my braying stick, pressure stick, whatever people call it. I know a brayer is on a wheel. I have a brayer, actually I can show you. Either way, it's called braying or brayer. So burnishing is another word, burnishing. So any of those work. I don't care if it's professional, the actual term, just make sure you're doing what I'm doing here. I'm gonna go around here, and this is starting to release. And I am working left to right on this one, so as it bunches up a little bit, like it has air bubbles and gets a little like funky, I push it out and smooth it out so all those become smooth. If you do that while you're applying it, you'll have so much less problems, because these are really easy to apply. Just gotta have a little patience, and there's an air bubble. Go ahead and fix it while you're still attached to this back piece. And then when you burnish with a wet cloth, I'm sorry, not wet. When you burnish with soft cloth later, you won't have to do all this extra work that might actually scratch your paint and such. Brooklyn is sending me a message. Someone is returning. Anyways, hi Brooklyn. I'll answer your question in just a minute. So I'm just gonna show you. Going across here, and even though this is one big sheet, I am working in sections. So I'm going to pull there. Okay, and I can tell this needs a little bit more. So there you have it. I'm going to stop for a minute, answer Brooklyn's questions, and continue to work on this piece. Alright, I have been working on this piece and I'm taking a quick break, but I just wanted to show you, I'm sitting down here on the ground, as you guys normally know when I'm working on this, because it's low to the ground. And look up, and there's my helper, Petey. Of course, he's not going to look now. Petey! Hi! Hi, Petey! And then come down here, and go over here. Boom! Mikey! Mikey kitty! Oh, did I wake you up? I'm sorry I woke you up. So these are my helpers today. Both rescues. Hi, Petey love. Petey, Petey. So while I am taking a quick break, sorry, my glasses are falling. I'm just going to fix that. To eat a little something while I'm working on that transfer, someone ordered a transfer online. So shout out to Sherry McLean from Port Matilda, Pennsylvania. Oh, I love that. Port Matilda. This sounds so cute because I like the movie Matilda, probably. Excuse my hair. Look at that. All right. Sherry, it's on its way, and hopefully your transfer will be on a great project like we're working on right now. So my sweet niece Brandy, Green-Eyed Starlet on YouTube, follow her, got me this really cute pink watering can, and I just realized, look at that. That's where I came, oh, sorry, I'm gonna move this around. there's where they got the pink color. See, I knew I'd seen this pink before. I had something in my mind, and it's from this pink watering can. Dun dun dun! Thank you, Brandy. Great idea. Good morning. Hello, PT. So I was talking to my sister Brooklyn, and we're talking about the handles for this piece here, and I said I'm going to order some glass handles, and she said, oh, or pink glass would be awesome. And believe it or not, we got these. Where did we get these from? Were they on another vintage piece that we took off? Do you remember?
Yeah,
where
we
got
salvaged these from something.
And I was like, wait a minute, Brooklyn, we may have some. And these have really, okay, I'm trying to let it, you can't see it. It has these really good detailing. So my video will not, it won't zoom in, like it won't, there we go. See that detailing? And they're glass, they're not the plasticky ones. So then they didn't fit. So then Jason came up with the fact that I didn't know you can use what?
Washers.
And washers are, of course, excuse our mess. Washers are, for this one, these are the little tiny washers.
And these actually came with these.
And I didn't know it. I didn't know they were actually in, like, we try to salvage the screws that come with the knobs and pulls and everything. You should never know when you're going to need them. So yep. He's putting the washer.
You put everything in a Ziploc, so that way you have
bags, or
all the little loose parts.
So show me again what you do. So you're going to put the washer on here. Okay, and then you stick it, you can just show them like you did on here, like for example.
Yeah, just actually do it.
Okay. So of course we're going to open it with a handy screwdriver because I painted it. So you put the washer through.
And you can kind of, I don't know if you can get in
There's
here.
stuff in here. Sorry, you guys. I haven't cleaned out the drawer.
If you can get in here and see how what's happened is they had bigger screw heads previously, and they've indented in the wood. So it goes from like this big and then starts to go down.
So the screws are basically just going straight through. So he got the washer and you put it on that side. And then these actually just screw on. PD is really enjoying this piece. And that way the screw doesn't fall out because the hole was stripped, so to speak. I wish that wasn't in the drawer. Sorry, you guys. I will clean it out of the drawer. It's just a little extra piece that we were using. He is doing this one now. That one had it. So the washer goes on this side of the inside of the drawer. And then you screw these on.
And so if you have a, a piece where someone's either dug out the back or
I just want to show them real quick. I'm sorry. I want to see what it looks like. Oh my gosh. It's so cute. I love it. So I'm sorry.
Sometimes when you're changing handles, the holes are bigger than what you're changing it to. So you just put a washer on the back, and that'll keep the head of the screw from going through.
I had no idea. No idea. He's tightening them up. I cannot wait to get this piece finished. I have clear coated it twice. And now with the handle situation, it's going to be so cute. It goes with that pink there. So we'll keep doing this 2 more. Alright, so I have cleared this whole piece with a coat of Dixie Belle Clear Coat in gloss. And now I've decided, as I was doing that, I want to add some gold leaf here. So I am using this product right here. And I'll try to put a link down there below. And I've just poured a little bit into a plate. And then I have a bunch of little, jar full of little brushes. And I'm taking the smallest brush I can find and dipping into there just a little bit. And I'm going to hand coat this. Now you could rub this on your finger just as easily, but I want to get it just on this metal piece. And I'll let you know while I'm doing it, because I painted over this metal piece at first. I do that sometimes. I'll paint over and then come back and add to it. While I'm adding this Rubb and Buff in gold leaf, because it comes in silver too, just know that. When I'm applying it, I know it's going to be hard to see, but I will try to take a picture. I am applying it sort of shabby chic-ish, meaning I'm getting it on there and getting on there good. This will not come off once it's dry. But I'm also keeping in consideration that this piece is an older piece and it would have some dings and bumps and such on the metal because it's on the corners. So I'm letting some of the pink and the yellow that's on there come through, and I like how that looks. You could do it, oh, my blocking. You could do it completely gold leafed, and most of it is gold leaf, but you'll just see a hint of the pink coming through and the yellow. All right, so again, you see I just put this tiny bit on the brush, like the paper plate, and I'm just grabbing it, and I'm going to pull that here. This was a mid-century piece. It is a mid-century piece, but it has unique details that I didn't want to remove. Like this kind of almost, this is almost Art Deco in design, this particular piece here, this metal piece that's on here, this accent. All right, so there we go. This is also on the other corner, and it's also at the bottom on each side. So I will hand do this with this little tiny brush. Oop, and I got a little bit on there, and that's okay. I'm just going to take my finger and just grab it, pull it, and then I will take some paint and go back over that in a little bit. I got a little bit too much on my brush. Got kind of get gooped up. So not hard, just a little bit of extra detailing that can make a difference. And I'm going to let that dry. So you see it didn't take long, and that is gold leafing. Now I'm going to do the corner over here. I push it, I just don't want to run over the cat. Great, right? Filming and the cat gets in the way. Okay, sorry about that. So now I'm going to stand over here since I still have this on my styrofoam plate, and I'm just going to hand paint this particular piece, this detailing, to give it that glitz, pop of gold, shimmery. You can also use gold wax, and that was my plan, was to not use the Rubb, but just use the gold wax, either by Dixie Belle or Country Chic. But I only had one, and while I had it out and almost ready to open it up, someone bought it online, so I had to ship that out. And the other ones I have are at the store, and I wasn't heading up to the store today, so I decided, you know what? I have Rubb and Buff, sorry, Rubb and Bub. I keep saying that. Rubb and Buff, and I'm going to use what I have on hand. So I always say, some people are very decisive and know exactly what they want, and that's wonderful. And I knew what I want. I knew I wanted it to be gold. But changing from wax to this product is just a small change. And I always say go with the flow. It makes life easy. And a lot of times when you do that, things turn out to be a little bit better than you thought. So put it to mind and make it happen with whatever product you have on hand. You never can go wrong with having a little bit extra of this. I have it in silver and gold. And, okay. Yeah, I'm blocking. I'm going to come down. Again, I'm letting some of that pink and yellow of the paint shine through. Now this product is not made by Dixie Belle or Country Chic, so it does have that paint smell. That smell that, kind of gives you a little bit of a headache. So that's why I prefer to use the waxes, because they don't smell. But again, I didn't have a chance to go to the store today. My anxiety is high, and I just don't feel like being people-y today. So since that happened, I'm just going to use what I have. And like I said, it's actually working out better because it's more of a gilt look than just wax. So really pops. I'm going to get the edge here. Get my finger because I got it on there just a little bit. There you go. So again, I know you can't tell, but I will take a closer picture of that and post it here later. And this will be dry soon, so it doesn't take very long. I'm going to push this back just a little bit as I'm going to be working down at the bottom. The bottom has the same thing on the corners. So there you go, a little bit of shimmer. Hi! Decided to do something to the side of this. I've already finished the front, and I will show you that in the completed video. But this side, I decided I'm going to use a technique that I saw. I wish I could give credit to wherever I saw it, but it's been so long, I can't remember. So I'm taking my Vintage Cupcake by Country Chic Paint, and I'm taking a spoon, plastic spoon, and I'm just putting some on the plate. This is a throwaway plate that I've been using for this project. There's a little yellow on it, a little gold on it, but those are already dried, so I'm just reusing it. And I am using this home decor layering block. This specific one is made by Plaid. It's a 3" by 3". Comes like this. I ordered it offline, and I'll show you a link below. It's just a wood block, but it's got the handle on it. It makes it easier to control. And so you put the paint on this piece of paper, on this throwaway plate. I'm going to spread it out a little bit. And this is real thin, almost like your, what am I trying to say? When you're doing a stencil, you just want to dip the wood block in, you turn it around different ways so the paint's on there. Get a little bit on there, and then you're just going to basically go like this, and you kind of want to offload. See how there's a lot right here? I want to offload like you're stamping. You see what it's doing? So I'm going to dip back in here. You don't want it to be, you want it to be just slightly on there, and I'm going to just drag this down and go over it so the paint is on there, but it's not raised. It's real flat. See how I'm just pulling that? Dip back onto here into the paint. I'm putting a little bit more on. Now I'm pulling down. I'm probably going to go sideways too. Like that. I'm going to keep dipping into this paper plate into the actual paint. Get it on the wood block. I'm going to go across here and then down. And I'm just dragging this down. And so basically you're getting a weathered, shabby, chic, kind of beachy look. Can you see already with the contrasting colors? Now I've already decided I'm going to need a little bit more paint in my plate. So I'm going to open up my Country Chic again and pour a little bit. And what was that? It's not even a spoonful. This time I'm going to add a whole spoonful, like a tablespoon amount, on my plate. getting that off. And I am going to move the paint around on the plate because I want it to be not drippy like this. I want it to be just kind of like when you're stenciling and you just have a little bit. So I kind of rubbed it off on the side. I need to pull this down. And I got a little bit on the side, so I'm going to go ahead and pull that and then go across it. And I got a little bit on the carpet, but that's okay. This carpet I have down is specifically for the purpose of, and I'm going to use my spray. I'm using my sprayer to spray the paint in the carpet to wipe it right up. Easy peasy with this paint. This carpet is basically made like a drop cloth for me, my purposes. Okay. Are you seeing that now? So it does the layering for me. I got a little bit on the edge of the wood block, so I'm going to pull it because there's a drip. And then you can pull across. I'm going to go flat. There. And I noticed right there I lifted it up, so I'm going to pull that down. And you can see how quickly you have a distressed look by only using the smallest amount of paint. And you'll have great combos depending on, like I use the Daisy and Limeade on the bottom by Dixie Belle. And then I am using the Vintage Cupcake by Country Chic on top. I'm also going to add it on the side of this trim by just going over that like that. And a little bit on the side, so I'm going to pull that across. I'm going to pull down. This will be dry in about 30 minutes. And yes, I'm doing laundry. I'm doing some overalls, some vintage Levi's overalls that I'll be selling in the store. So you're hearing the clank, clank, clank of the metal pieces on the overalls. It sounds like a lot of noise. And if you want, you can just keep layering in more layers. See how like there's a spot here that doesn't have as much? I'm going to dip my wood block in there and pull down and go sideways. Get it? There we go. And then you'll notice, because I'm adding a little pressure, I'm pulling back off some of the pink because it's not completely dry, and the yellow is popping back through. So I like to go down, and then I like to go sideways too. It gives it a really organic, fresh look. And I'm going to turn it around. See if I can do this without tipping it over. It's on those wheels that I always talk to you guys about. Now you're going to get a kind of a sneak peek as I'm turning it around of the front. See that? Look at those handles. Woo-hoo! Vintage glass pink handles. Okay, so I'm going to turn this around. Now we're on the next side. This is what we're starting with, that basic I have a layer of Daisy and Limeade on this side. Here we go again. I'm just going to pull this down. Turn the block sideways to get some of the paint off the edge so it doesn't drip. And then I'm going to go sideways. And pulling down. And once you see that you're running out, you just dip back into the paint again. And pull down. This wood block with the handle on it is an amazing, amazing tool. You could just use a piece of wood that you have, like an extra end piece of wood that you used off another project, and just use it. But I'm telling you, the handle is so worth it so that you're not holding just the side of the wood piece. And you can also make your own by using a piece of wood, like I said, a piece of leftover wood, and then just gluing a wooden knob with E6000 onto the wood block, so you get a wood stamp. And you'd have your own. But for the think this was like $5, including, I think I had it shipped to me. It's worth it. I'm still using the same plate. I can tell that I would like more, so I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit more. So what's that? 3 spoonfuls I'm using of Country Chic Paint and Vintage Cupcake. This time I'm not gonna use as much in the spoon because I know I'm almost done. Get that out onto the throwaway plate. Again, I've used the same plate this whole project. And that way, when I'm done, I only have one thing that's disposable to throw away. Okay, I don't want that drippy. So you can see that I loaded it pretty heavy. Now I'm gonna come back. Can you see that? And because this is a vintage piece, it has raised spots and lower spots, because that's what happens. And you just kind of let the wood block find those high points and low points and work its magic. And I'm again turning it each way so it's a little bit more organic. I'm using a light hand with this. If I wanted to pull the paint back, I didn't put the paint outside. I could use a heavier hand. I'm trying not to pull back the yellow and limeade, which is Daisy by Dixie Belle and Limeade by Dixie Belle. And now that I have just a little bit left in my plate, I'm trying to scoop up and use it. There was a blemish right here on this spot, and I'm using the side of my wood block to cover that with the paint. Very forgiving. And guess what? If you do this and you absolutely hate it, you just paint back over it. That's the brilliance of it. With Country Chic and Dixie Belle, because it's mineral chalk paint. You can just go right back over it. It's all water-based paint. So you can easily just go back over it. That way, I don't have to worry about any oopsies. Now this is a raised spot, so I'm using the edge of my wood block, and see, right there, I pulled a little bit of paint off. I could either dip back in here and cover it up with the paint, like that, and it's covered. Or, another thing you do is do that in several spaces and make it look genuinely distressed, which I love too. So, use it to your advantage. Again, this is called wood block layering, and it's fun, and I really enjoy it. There you go. I'm gonna let that dry, and then I am going to come back and seal this side with Dixie Belle Clear Coat in gloss, because that's the color I have chosen, or the sheen I have chosen. Isn't that cute? Very textured, very almost like an old boat with layers showing. I'm gonna put my plate over here. I'm gonna let this dry, and now it matches the pink. I was just gonna blend pink into the side, but I decided I wanted a little bit of action on the side because the front is so boho, like really cute. And I wanted a little bit of a pop of color and a different little trend going. So here you go. Here's the front, and then of course the sides will be that textured place. The top is the pink blended. So we will see how this turns out. Thank you for watching. All right, I let this piece dry all night, and now I'm going to take my Dixie Belle Paint Company clear coat in gloss, and I'm using my Country Chic sponge to apply it. Dixie Belle also makes sponges. They are blue. They're both just as good. I just happen to have this one. Well, I just grabbed this one. I went ahead and got a little bit of water on it, and I squeezed it out so it's just barely damp, and that will make the application go much smoother. And of course, I used this the other day, and then it's a little hard to open. You just do that. Okay, so I am going to just dip in a little bit on the, see that? And I am going to just go straight across. I'm going to start back here, and it's going to be hard to see, and do a straight line across without lifting. You know what? I'm going to move this just a little bit there. And then I'm going to dip again, kind of straight across. And I'm going to keep applying all the way across the top here. If you see a spot that is what I call dry, like you missed a little bit due to the sheen, you can see, because I've got light coming in from the morning sun. Just wait till your next coat and you'll catch it on the next coat. This piece actually has already been sealed once. Sorry, it has been sealed once before, but I put 2 coats or 3 coats before. But then I decided on a different topping and repainted it. And so now I'm coating it again. And yes, Dixie Belle Paint and Country Chic will cure after 7 to, I would say 14 days, but sometimes even up to 30 days. And cure means harden, like you can put things on it and it won't come back. Now it's dry to the touch within 20 minutes, but to be cured means to really be done, meaning you don't have to seal it. And the reasons that people say is like, why do you clear coat if it doesn't need to be sealed? Well, I am doing this for a client and I want it to be the best that it possibly can be. So I am always going to seal my piece, even if it was just for me. I usually prefer to go ahead and seal it. It just gives it that extra protection, just like you would want you bought from any place. Give a little bit better. I always say go that extra step for the client and they will keep coming back to you. It's that extra little touch you do, or that extra that you give, that you get back. Always give more than you receive. So when someone pays you good money for all your work done, you want to make sure that you went that little extra step and sealed it. It only takes a few minutes, as you can see, and it ensures that it lasts a lot longer. Just like when you do your nail polish, you could just put 1 coat of nail polish on your fingers and get out and go do whatever you're doing. But if you do a base coat, which is like the Boss or the Slick Stick for Dixie Belle, and then you do the 1 coat of the nail polish, sometimes 2 coats of nail polish, and then you do a clear coat on top, your manicure lasts a lot longer. And that's what you're doing for your client. You are giving more than you have to give. Yes, you can do a 1 coat that dries in 60 seconds, meaning we'll talk about nail polish still, and it will last them a little while. But if you do those extra coats, you ensure that they're going to be happy with the product and that they will be coming back. And a piece that lasts forever, let's say they get tired of the piece because they want to change up their style or decor, and they give it to a friend, and the friend's like, I love this piece, it's so wonderful. And they say, yes, I got this from the Other Side Vintage, and look how it's still lasting. Then you've got a new client, because that person will remember that and come shopping with you when they need something else. So just because they got it from a friend doesn't mean that you aren't making them your client as well, just by taking this extra step and sealing your project when you don't have to. And by going that extra step, you're giving a little bit more of yourself and ensuring that you're giving the best that you can. How long did that take? Okay, it took 5 minutes, but I think it's because I was yammering. So there you go. I am going to let this dry. And since I have a lot to do today, I am probably going to let it dry overnight. Like, it will be dry in about 20 minutes. I can see the top is already. I'm just going to go across here. Yes, I am going to do the front again, by the way. I'm just trying to make this video a short clip because I know this video is already long. So there you go. There you have it. I'll keep on keeping on. Okay, now I'm going to add another coat of clear gloss across the fronts. I have already done this. This actually already has 3 coats of clear gloss. What I am doing is adding another coat. And the reason I'm doing that is that, again, it only takes a few seconds. And you're ensuring your customer a highly sealed product that will last longer and longer. You don't have to do this, but going this extra step always helps your client. You want to give more than you get, and by going this extra step, you're ensuring long-lasting and happy clients that'll keep coming back because you want that extra step. And I chose glossy because I wanted that sheen. You could use flat, you could use satin. But this one I wanted to be a little glossy, and so that's what I'm using. So there you have it. Clear coated, it's sealed. It was very easy to do, and you can do that too.